Here's me at a very familiar place. Let me just angle up a little bit and across. Yeah, this is St Paul's Cathedral. Just thinking, St Paul's Cathedral represents, I suppose, Christianity in this country. It's the symbol. It's a symbol that was lived through many wars, particularly the Second World War, and for many people, if you're talking about a headquarters of Christianity in this country, they would say St Paul's Cathedral. But for me, it represents the Christian establishment. And my question is, has the Christian establishment forfeited the right to be God's representatives for our country at this time? I say this because I just don't see much of a representation. I don't see those within the church who are really sticking up for the God, the sovereign God who created us, who should be at the centre of everything that we do, and yet he seems to be pushed to the sidelines in a position such as St Paul's that has become more and more political than anything else. So, give an example: the Archbishop Justin Welby, nice chap. I'm not going to say anything against him personally, but it's just that his position is a political position. He represents an office. It's a political office, and people, if you stop someone in the streets and say, do you know any Christians, any prominent Christians in this world, and they'd probably come up with Justin Welby because he is, I suppose, the acceptable, safe face of Christianity. But is he the prophet for today? Is this like the Old Testament where God's people were prophets who spoke up for God, who said uncomfortable things and ended up in pits or been sawn in two and all sorts of terrible endings? It's also safe now. I mean, I analysed his tweets last year over a period of I think 8 days, and in that time Justin Welby had about 7 or 8 tweets, and every one of them was sort of woody and happy Eid to the Muslims and let's all be nice to each other, and there's a fundraising tweet, and there's no thus says the Lord, thus says the Lord. And yesterday I saw a video that he'd done surrounded by some Muslims, and he was celebrating, or let's not go as far as say celebrating, but he was sort of talking about Ramadan, and he's sort of congratulating them and sort of saying, I hope you have a good Ramadan, and he's surrounded by, he's in this palace or some sort of official place, and the implication was at the end was a sort of reference to God, and you can't have a reference to God with people who don't worship our God. They worship him by another name, but it's not God. As a reminder where we are again. So I suggest, and I'm not the only one that's thinking this, that there needs to be a grassroots revival. If God is to be representative, if God is going to have a voice in this nation, something that is becoming increasingly important in these times, then I suggest it won't come from the established church, it will come from the grassroots. So I ask you out there, you're a grassroots person, we're grassroots. Are we willing to stand up and be counted? And if so, what should we be doing? So I'll leave that thought with you.